All right, I've got 4 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order. I'm Dan Guard, Chair of the Regional Sewer District. First item on the agenda is to approve our minutes from the meeting on November 12th, 2025. This time I'd entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
David Reeves, member, approve. Make a motion to approve them.
Mike Warren, board member, second.
Any discussion of those minutes? All in favor of approval, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Next is bank balances. Joyce, please.
Joyce Grimble, treasurer, board member. General checking is $123,623.56. The new capital fund, $30,611.54. The, what does she mean by this? GPM. That's it.
GPS maintenance.
Yeah, $17,394.68.
Thank you. Next is our admin report. BCS management.
Chris Kellner, BCS Management, as an early present. This is going to be the shortest admin report ever.
Outstanding.
We're sitting at a healthy 3.5 times the regular operating claims in our operating fund. There are larger claims this month, as you'll see. Most of that, or a large portion of that, is capital fund. So those pumps that were replaced recently, and then the insurance renewal. So that's not an every month thing. So I think we're doing okay there. On the admin report, you'll see the balance history. You can see the positive momentum that's been there. That is all I have for the admin report.
Thank you. And then next is our maintenance with Asbury. Tom?
Yes, Tom Asbury, Asbury Water Technology. And so during the month of October, which is the most recent month that that we've submitted to IDEM, there was one E. coli exceedance, and that was due to the actuator issue with the floating decanter, and that part has been back ordered, and we just actually received it. So with the way the actuator is kind of stuck open, sometimes when it decants, it gets a little bit of solids in there. But we were able to collect additional samples. We actually had two samples that were above, and we were able to drop the highest 10% there. And that's the first exceedance we've had in I think almost 2 years. So really nothing to be concerned about. We've documented what caused it, and we're going to be able to prevent that from happening again with getting the parts in for the floating decanter. So nothing to worry about on that end of things. Despite that, all of our regulated parameter, the removal percentages were all above 98%. So the plant is operating well. It's just with that decanter, it's a little bit temperamental. And the effluent flow meter was replaced on November 19th. So we're going to have really good data. We'll be able to drill down minute by minute, how much flow that the plant is sending out, which wasn't the case with the old flow meter. So for the month of October, because we still have the flow meter issue, we've been reporting the influent flow data because it's more accurate, and I do believe it's pretty close to the mark. So the average daily influent flow was 65,700 gallons a day. So that's 65% of average daily flow capacity. I believe the actual numbers are a little bit below that. So we'll find out when we have the November data there. Maximum flow 106,000 gallons a day. Minimum flow 32,000. And that maximum flow, again, I'd like to remind you that with some of the recycling of the water that's done to the headworks when we decant from the digester, that's a little bit of a misleading number. So that doesn't necessarily, that's probably an exaggerated snapshot of how much flow is coming in, a peak.
The same as your average?
Yeah, yep. And so, that's where we are with the operational metrics. For the headworks, we had Riggin Mechanical. They did their annual preventative maintenance on November 18th of the makeup air unit and the burners up there, the heaters that keep that area from freezing during the really cold temperatures. So early on when we operated the plant, we realized that sometimes those louvers that open up there in the headworks, sometimes get snow blown into them and stuff. It's pretty windy out there. And in the past, before we had this preventative maintenance, we had a couple instances where it shut the heater off, and we can't have that area freeze at all. So that was done November 18th, and then Xylem, the new pump that was previously approved, was installed as pump number 2, position number 2, in the South Lift Station 1B, which is the one that Nucor, their new expansion, is connected to. We have, after it was installed, we noticed that we did an amperage check and noticed that the amps it was pulling were a little bit higher than we'd like. So we have temporarily turned that particular pump off until we get Xylem out and look into the matter. I think that we were concerned that maybe the high amps were due to perhaps an obstruction in the discharge piping, from it being fallow for, a period of time. So we're going to have them install that new pump at North Lift Station 1A just to see, to make sure that it's pulling the correct amps. That'll be kind of our control. And we'll be installing one of the older pumps in Lift Station South 1B. But we're on that to make sure that, obviously last year during this cold weather, we did have a lot of lift station issues, or not last year, but earlier this year. So we're keeping really good tabs on the lift stations, and we're going to be going around here in the next few days just to report back on whether we are going to recommend another round of cleaning, jetting and cleaning of the wet wells. It's been about not quite a year, but just keeping track of that stuff. Other than that, let's see here. That does it. We just got a quote from Riggin on this was an old item on our list where they indicated that the makeup air for the HVAC system had some limitations, and that might be putting additional strain on those units. And they gave us a quote to address that. I think it was $1,800 or something, but it can wait until the next meeting where we present it to you guys for approval. So that concludes the report.
Thank you. We have nothing on project updates, but under new business, we have capital fund and grinder pump maintenance fund allocations. Chris
Kellner, BCS Management. If the claims are approved as presented later in the meeting, then the grinder pump fund will still be at $17,000. The capital fund will be at $5,000. So I'm recommending that the board make the decision in the next month or two to increase the regular monthly allocations from the operating fund to the capital fund from $1,000 to $4,000. And then for the grinder pump fund, I know we're at a good balance right now to be able to reorder 5 pumps, and we don't go through those as frequently as we might in other systems. But as those age out in the next 5 years, if you don't have a healthy grinder pump maintenance fund of, say, $100,000, a lot of those pumps are going to need to get replaced quite a bit because they'll be at their 10 to 15 year mark. We need to prepare for that, and so I'd recommend we increase that from $1,000 a month to $2,500 a month. So that's my recommendation for the board to consider.
That need to start next month or to approve now going forward? Is that your recommendation?
If you make a motion and approve it, then Amy can get that set up for next month's claim. So then in January, you're getting those transfers increased.
I would make a motion per the recommendation of BCS management to make our monthly adjustments to the capital fund from $1,000 to $4,000 and the GPS fund from $1,000 to $2,500. Any discussion? it's nice to be able to do that, especially paid the redevelopment commission back, and so we're in a lot better financial position, so feel very comfortable doing that. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Oppose? That motion passes. Thanks for the recommendation. And then next is Mason, anything else? Sorry, didn't mean to cut you short.
That's all. Thank you, Board.
Next is Mason Lindsberg SRF application, Amy.
Sorry,
There you
couldn't
go.
find the button. Amy Moore, VS Engineering. Had some additional conversation last month. Earlier in the year, we had talked about putting the Mace-Lindsberg PER SRF application on the agenda for reevaluation here at the end of the year. Those are typically due on April 1st each year, so we wanted to be prepared if that was the case. But additional conversation with Dan has let me know that the county has changed ordinances related to septic allowances and availability on sites. So we currently have the PER for that area because we had at least one at the time house that was unable to be occupied because of the septic situation, but that is not the case anymore. And based upon the number of units that are out there and the cost attributable to that project, and the fact that grant funding is less than available these days, we're going to put that project on hold and just let it ride on the current PPL list that it's on SRF, but not reallocate or reapply for that, if that's okay with the board.
I guess we don't, I don't think we have to take any action on that, do we, at all? So pretty recommendation. I think we status quo, go forward.
Okay.
Nothing under old business. Next would be our approval of our claims. We have claims in the amount of $107,109.32. Entertain a motion to approve claims.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? That motion passes. Unless there's anything else to come before the board, from the board, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.